it's not feasible in a lot of circumstances, particularly smaller high schools, to have someone, a full-time devoted certified strength coach on staff. And so I thought that, why are we not educating coaches, sport coaches, in some basics? No different than how I need to kind of improve my knowledge of the sports that I train, whether it be the coach's system, a couple of sports skills to relate to my athletes, how a particular movement in the weight room can transfer to the court. I think sport coaches need to kind of have, some requisite information to safely implement things. So what I think that looks like is just a very simple progressive system to teach basic movements. So, I've got a 5-step squat progressions, and of course, that may segue off a couple different directions based on individual needs. But I think that just empowering sport coaches with a simple progression to take an athlete from point A to B versus that old school mentality of let's just put a bar on their back and throw technique out the window. I think that's where it's at from an educational standpoint. And then just understanding a few concepts within training, whether it's progressive overload, adaptation syndrome, those kind of things. I think that it's very small-minded of us as a strength and conditioning community to believe that sport coaches aren't capable of, learning some basics. They are certainly capable of learning the minutia of very complex sport skills. With that in mind, I think that, at some point you arm people with enough information to be dangerous. So I think it's really important that, we're all going to the same destination. We're all training the athletes and we're all trying to make them better for their sport. We need to stay in our respective lanes, but I think that the sport coach education piece allows them to not have blinders on, and it makes the overall process safer because they know what's going on in other lanes. They have understanding of what's going on. So they kind of know how to steer within their lane.